You see the officer from before comes over and salutes you, Jabari, and goes, Captain Jabari, Lieutenant Brython at your command, as are the worthless toads you see before you. And you see behind him are a few lines of foot soldiers. And you know Lieutenant Brython as being intense, sort of a middle management officer, good at inspiring discipline, but just too high energy. It's just a bunch of matches that are getting ready to go on fire. Not somebody who's like cool under pressure. Like you see him already like freaking out at people a little bit, just being like, ha, Jerry, the pike goes the other way. It goes the other way.
Lieutenant Brython, Jabari is eager and excited to command you and the toads that you run with.
Worthless toads, sir.
Worthless toads, indeed. Yes, into battle.
Dry little shit toads,
yes,
sir.
Wow.
Yes. Dry little shit, minuscule
crusty
toads.
little toads. They haven't been in the water in a long time, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, Jabari is consulting with the other Hexblood Centurions, and as soon as we are all on the same page, we will ride for Pearl Hill and bring glory to the king. Yes?
As you command, sir. Right, toads? Yes. You hear everyone at once go, yeah, shut up, man. How dare you?
Yeah, Lieutenant Brython, find the one who said shut up, man. That is not... Jabari knows that's bad. That's real bad.
You see Lieutenant Brython goes and starts just having like a quiet argument as if like arguing with a significant other. Just like, Why would you do that to me? Why would you do that to me? In front of me?
That's his nephew. We know that's his nephew.
Okay. I know that, me and your mom, we don't hang out as much as we used to.
It's your son.
And,
Oh, damn.
Child from a divorce. It
Yes.
happens.
That's complicated. I ain't touching that.
They're kind of having a complicated conversation. You find out that he and his mom used to date. They don't date anymore. It's sort of an awkward thing.
Really, this is like a soap opera.
An X step. That's uncomfortable.
Maybe we suggest to the Prophet Gideon that we all bed down for the night. Yes, because they have been walking all day. We do not want to meet and attack in the middle of the night. That is foolish. Lieutenant Brython and his toads are dumb, right?
I just want to point out real quick. Look at Prophet Gideon's cavalry versus our toads.
Come on, dry toads! You don't need water, you're dry toads! We're dehydrated, sir.
Lieutenant...
It's one thing to call them toads, but it's another thing to treat them like they're actual toads. Do you give them food?
Yeah, I give them flies.
They're not toads, sir.
Lieutenant Brython, you have to give... Jabari insists you give the troops water.
I give them a little bit of water for the dry toads, sir. It's hazing, sir.
If your troops are saying they're dry, you're not giving them enough water. I know that. I mean, some plants
We're
can get
dry. Yes, you're dry
on
toads.
the field of battle is a really bad time to haze the troops.
We
I
need
would say.
electrolytes, sir. Yelling from the back.
They need electrolytes. Yes. Jabari knows that at the fundamentals of battle are electrolytes.
You see, Lieutenant Brython does bust open a cooler of Frost Gatorades.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Well,
do we feel good about suggesting to the Prophet Gideon that Jabari's troops need to rest because they are dry and they will not be good at fighting in the evening?
Jabari, that ain't even a lie. That is 100% the truth.
Not even a lie. We just go tell him
You
the
found
truth.
a way to ditch the deceit. I'm really impressed.
There we go. Okay, shall we? Lieutenant Brython, the Hexbloods are going to ride ahead to confer with with the Prophet Gideon about how to proceed now that we near Pearl Hill. Yes,
Yes, Captain. Us dirty little toads will just be back here hopping along.
Well, you should just
have
continue
to
to
let
walk.
them
Don't
shower.
make them.
All right, we'll stop hopping. Yeah, as you guys approach, you see Gideon goes, "Shouldn't you be back there with the toads?"
You also called them toads? Jabari was not aware that we were calling foot soldiers toads now.
I call lots of people toads.
That tracks for somebody who eats
I think
worms.
the toads thing is taking hold in a weird way, and I think we should try to distance ourselves from it.
I'm fine with dropping the toad thing. I think that's fine. Is that what you came to talk about, dropping the
Very
toad thing?
reasonable.
If you want to drop the toad thing, I don't give a shit. That's fine.
That was one of the things we came to talk about. I'm glad that we crossed that off.
Drop the toad
Can
stuff.
we get that in writing so we can hand it off?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay. Anyway, yes.
Okay, I put my parchment away.
What Jabari and the other Hexbloods have come to discuss is that the soldiers, seeing as we are no longer calling them toads, are very dry.
The fact is, yes, we are Hexbloods, but the people that we command are not, and I don't want to go into battle with a bunch of dehydrated toads who are making bad decisions, and I don't think you want to either.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check, but I am going to say you are trying to convince somebody to go against the king's direct orders. So
Okay.
go ahead and make it with disadvantage.
Make it with disadvantage, okay.
Oh boy.
A 19 and a crit. Come in here and look at it, bitch.
Wow. Amazing.
Jesus.
So I take the 19 with my persuasion, that's 26.
Good God. Okay. Yeah, I set the DC at 25 in my head. You see Gideon looks back and sees the foot soldiers who at this point have walked, miles and miles and miles
Sometimes they were hopping.
heavy,
That's really
heavy
tough on your
chainmail and
quads.
stuff.
Yeah, I think their hammies are sore from hopping.
I will say, Terragon, Jabari is very glad you suggested this course because the toads in this situation would die.
Yeah.
There's no question. They would all die.
Has he enlisted the armies, like in particular the toads?
The toads?
Are the toads safe?
We're pretty invested in the toads.
The cavalry is not far behind him, but is not there yet. He rode ahead. The toads are even further back.
Good.
By the time you wake up, the toads will probably be just arriving.
After a bit, you see the toads. You see dozens of foot soldiers
Hopping along.
marching down the main road. Took longer to get here than it looks like the cavalry's been here for a little bit. But as they start to make their way onto the battlefield, you see Lieutenant Brython on his horse rides towards you and salutes and goes, "Captain Jabari, I kept the toads nice and dry for you."
Okay, I do not believe that is what Jabari asked.
There was a little pond, and other people,
Yes.
the knights went and took a shower, but we stayed dry, sir. Dry and crusty. Just like you
Yes.
like us, sir.
No.
Jabari does not like you that way. Jabari likes you hydrated. I feel like this was a whole thing we had.
No, we talked about the
Nevertheless.
hydration. We didn't say anything
Yes.
about showering, sir. We
All right.
stayed hydrated.
Well,
Much to my
you know,
chagrin.
Jabari is glad. Change is slow. So we'll take this victory. But I'm glad you are here. Jabari would like you to stay with the cavalry. The Prophet Gideon has become a bad man, and we are no longer fighting alongside him.
Yes, he kind of forced me to tell on you guys, sir.
That's what happened. You have literally not stopped saluting Jabari since you got here.
Yes, I'm scared of everyone, sir. I'm scared of Jabari, scared of the Prophet Gideon. I'm scared, sir.
If you
I'm just a little toad.
if
At
you
least,
want to
Toad.
go home, little toad, you can go home.
I could go home?
You can just go home. I don't want you to, to be in.
Are you going to stay back and lead all the foot soldiers? Do you need me to?
Terry will do it.
I'm just worried.
Sir Reynard
about
kind of
you.
leans in and goes, "Please don't send him home."
Oh, Terragon, he should stay. He needs to
Okay.
stay.
All right.
But it's kind
Yeah,
of
you know what? You'll find your confidence on the battlefield, I'm sure.
You're a big bullfrog. Don't you worry.
You hear the toads in the back go, Corbo's getting back into it. He's getting back into it.
Yes, he is.
Stay dry.
He's full in.
Stay dry, Toads. Jabari, you run up and you join the line that was just decimated by these exploding dudes. And you stand there with the Toads, looking dry, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna pick up one of the shields of somebody who fell in the explosion with the guy that I let through, and say, "Let's hold this line together."
Toads, hold.
And remember, don't be shy about saying when you need water. You don't have to be dry. It's not a
Wait,
requirement.
what? We don't have to be dry?
You don't. You should be hydrated.
No! Hold the line.
Don't
Stay
be
dry.
dry when you could be hydrated.
Toads are amphibious. Even toads are supposed to be wet. I don't even understand the logic.
Lieutenant Brython goes, please don't confuse them now. It's not the time.
I'm the one that's fucking enlightening them.
You see that fifth one? You flew a little too close to the sun. You see it does fall
I was trying to
and
show
shatter.
off. I was trying to get fancy. Fuck.
Some of the toads get sprayed. Lieutenant Brython looks upset.
Y'all needed that anyway.
Yes, they need to be watered, the toads.
The toads look.
Water the toads.
They got a little watered. They're getting watered by the water. You
there's also
don't
rain.
water toads with ale. I am Sir Reynard Wendell. I lead the fallen King Weimer's forces, and which would make me tied for being in charge with Captain.
Who you tied with?
Captain Jabari, who leads the toads.
Well, they are not okay. For official purposes, they are not the toads. They are the army of Thurston Brightly.
Technically, they are now Hexbloods.
Yes,
I believe.
also they are Hexblood Centurion.
That's right. Dry Hexblood, sir.
Why did you guys retain the dry thing? There's no reason for that
We
to
need
carry
something,
over.
a little bit of our past, a little bit of our future. Now we can grow.
Do a hopping
thing.
thing then. If you want to be a toad. Fuck it. Never mind.
I mean, I don't want to contradict you, but I do want to let you know that there actually are a lot of Hexbloods now. As of the last battle, the team has grown.
Right.
A lot of bench players.
Right, yeah, no, the toads. And
There
they're
are
great.
hundreds of
And
Hexbloods that would happily help you with your evacuation.
Great, yes, the toads.
They wait for you in Pearl Hill. Go to them. Go to them.
Yeah.
All right, is that your way of politely telling me no, is to ask the toads?
As Tarragon said, we've been around for a long time. We learned how to say no to a job.
26. As you are doing burpees, you see one of the cadets salutes you and goes, "Great work, sir. Getting us nice and sweaty. Just a bunch of us wet toads here. We're all super wet." And Jabari knows that the toads are not wet.
Jabari wonders, you are a wet toad?
See, they cock their heads and their necks twist in unnatural ways.
Jabari knows that is impossible. Toads are dry. Jabari looks over at this crowd of wet toads.
They're all so wet. They all start cracking their necks.
Jabari also has a flash to another time he was sucked into a memory in the verse when we were fighting the king, and he was transported back to the battlefield, and thinks to himself and goes, "This Jabari is not where he is supposed to be, and these wet toads are in the way." And I'm gonna start wailing on wet toads.
Rad.
I'll use a menacing strike on one of the toads.
Rad. Sir, but we're so wet. We're sopping, sir.
You should be dry. I went to paradise. Jabari went to paradise for sure. But the toads there, they are very wet.
Impossible.
That's what Jabari said.
I'm gonna cast sending to someone that we used to hang out with and find out if Jabari won.
You could send it to like Lieutenant Brython, who is the leader of the Dry Toads.
Oh,
Hey,
Ask one of the
Lieutenant
dry
Brython. It's Tarragon, the one with the dragon eyes. I'm using up my words here, but did Jabari win?
You hear back. Somehow you hear a salute back You
I
hear
heard like a Nike swoosh of a salute.
Captain Tarragon, I am so dry. I haven't had a drink since we saw each other last. And you see Lieutenant Brython and all of the toads salute you.
Jabari walks up and just rubs his 2 fingers across one of their foreheads.
So dry. So dry.
Jabari, I encourage you to give them a little water.
Flakes of skin, you know this is real.
I fucking miss the toads.
Yes. Jabari thinks it will be something we vote on. Yes.